It's a beautiful day indeed, and a warm welcome to our national news on Star Television, Channel 21. I am Alima Samura. First, the headlines. The head of the Anti-Corruption Commission, lawyer Francis Benke has revealed that the alleged corruption files on the Chief Minister, bordering on a 1.5 million cash transfer, is still open for further probe contingent upon compelling evidence.
If anybody wants to come today to the office to see Chief Minister's file as to what we did, it's open to you. But to say that we covered up for the Chief Minister, come on.
Waterloo District gets a new community hospital aimed at addressing health complications bordering on non-communicable diseases. That is collectively responsible for almost 70% of deaths worldwide.
The Waterloo community, even though we have opened the Waterloo Hospital, but for now, we will get all that clinic there.
The Sierra Leone flour mill has received 10,000 tons of wheat from Russia that will last for over 5 months, geared towards enhancing food self-sufficiency in the country and repositioning itself to ensure service delivery.
Transferring the wheat from the ship to the conveyor belt is going on. It has started since about 4 days ago, and we have made sure that we have enough wheat that can take us up to May.
And in sports, the Western Area Football Association has begun its annual Division II male competition across the Western region, with 50 teams participating in the ongoing competition. Those were the headlines. And now the news in detail. The head of the Anti-Corruption Commission, Francis Benke Esquire, has revealed that the alleged corruption files on the Chief Minister bordering on a $1.5 million money transfer is still open for further probe contingent upon compelling evidence. He made this statement while responding to questions on his fight against corruption, which many people deem as a selective show of concern. Commissioner Francis Benke spoke to Abdulrahman Kamara.
I'm going to say to you is a collective views of people, especially so when the deem it's in a situation that you were spotlighted invariably for all the bad reasons. The arrest of Saluti Janjalo on Monday 11th November 2019 and the detain at the CID for almost 24 hours. Your action then in favor of the Chief Minister, you jump into his defense.
No, I did not jump into the Chief Minister's defense.
That's okay.
I jumped on the side of the truth. I jumped on the side of the truth.
Was it not done hastily though?
It was not done hastily. We took our time. Information came that Saluti Janjalo said he has evidence that the Chief Minister had received 1.5 million bribe. As an anti-corruption commissioner, it is my responsibility to look into it. I reached out to him and said, Salu, can you come and give me the evidence so that we can look into this? If there is indeed evidence, I am with you. We will investigate the Chief Minister. Saluti Janjalo insulted me on the phone and put the phone off. The next day, without getting to him, I wrote to the bank where he said the payment was made. The bank wrote to me to say no such payment was ever received. They don't have any account for Chief Minister. That in fact, there is nothing of that nature that involves the Chief Minister with their bank, apart from a travel card which has zero payment on it. So there was nothing. Now, by the time I received that letter from the bank, Saluti Janjalo was already on the radio accusing me of being the Chief Minister's blue-eye boy, that I was defending the Chief Minister and everything. And I called and said, no. I called you for us to investigate the issue, but if you could not cooperate with me, I have even gone further and checked where you said this payment was made, and here is a letter in my hands that says that there is none. However, if the bank has told us there is nothing here, if anybody has any information concerning any bribery payment to the Chief Minister, bring it forward. We put out a public notice for it. To date, this was almost a year ago. Salius Janjalo has not come up with anything beyond that allegation. Nobody has come up with anything. All that is left is that Francis Kaifala protected the chief minister. How? There is no evidence. There is no evidence. I merely stood on the side of the truth. If there was evidence, Salius Janjalo would have been surprised what could be done. This is what public service is about. When you do good, people don't notice, but they are ready to vilify you for nothing. Even you sitting down here, I have seen you people sit down in studio analyzing this issue very unfairly. Yes, you. But tell me, what evidence do you have? You are a journalist. You could have investigated. You could have gone to places and checked. You could have come to us to see the kind of evidence we have. But nothing like that has happened. I am not angry at you, by the way. I am just pointing out to you to understand that these are all the issues we face. And like I have told you, I have a serious game spirit.
Maybe.
I understand these things. I withhold them. I understand them. And I'm ready to confront them. If anybody wants to come today to the office to see Chief Minister's file as to what we did, it's open to you. But to say that we covered up for the Chief Minister, come on. The same way it is baseless that there was any 1.5 million paid for the Chief Minister, it's the same way it is baseless that we cover up anything.
The public expectation here was then that even though it was a terrible lead, the expectation that you would have taken your time off to actually go beyond the news.
We did go beyond the news. If we did not go beyond the news, we were not going to investigate the bank. We sent notice to the bank. The bank replied by notice to say there is nothing here.
Subsequent allegation of not only the UBA bank, but Eco Bank, but also the UBA bank.
We checked every bank. There was no. In fact, we checked with FIU. FIU are capable of tracking every payment that comes into Sierra Leone. Every, including what comes for me, what comes for you. They are capable of seeing your account. We checked with them. Mr. FIU, do you have any evidence of any 1.5 million transfer from anybody associated with Sierra Leone mining, or even to the Chief Minister? Or tell us the Chief Minister's account anywhere it is. Show us if even $100,000 dropped into it. They came back and said this does not happen. And these are partner institutions. They are responsible for issues like that. They are responsible for financial intelligence. If those people come back to us and tell us that we did not see what you are asking for. In fact, when I spoke with the head of the institution, he was laughing and said, no, this is just one of those things. Don't bother yourself about it.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised in relation to public view that was the fastest investigation ever conducted by ISOC?
That is also a very misrepresented public view. We updated the public on where we are so far because the issue had massive public interest, and we have done it before for other institutions. To update the public as to where we are does not mean a conclusion. So we did not come and say this investigation is finished, the file is dusted. Go back to that press release we put out. We said the file remains open, and if any evidence come forward, and if people have evidence, let them come forward so we can proceed. And we did proceed with it. Not because evidence came forward, because we had said this is merely an update. But instead of people looking at this as an update, they viewed it as a conclusion. Not because ACC said so, but because their own cynicism said so. And there's nothing Francis Kaifala can do about that, to be honest. But Francis Kaifala kept saying, and the PR team at the ACC kept saying, and everybody who were working for the ACC kept saying, this investigation is still open. It's been 1 year. Where is the evidence? If there is, we'll act on it. And I am still saying, here, now, in this studio, that file remains open. If evidence comes forward, we'll investigate.
The Waterloo Rural Community Hospital has been officially commissioned over the weekend. The founder and proprietor of the hospital, Dr. Gladstone Toka, a specialist in internal medicine with more than 40 years of experience working in the United States of America, has said his desire to establish a hospital is to address health complications, budding or non-communicable diseases that is collectively responsible for almost 70% of all deaths across the world. Alusana Abubakar reports.
History was made on Friday as residents and well-wishers of Waterloo saw the first ultra-modern hospital opened at Campbelltown, Main Motor Road, Waterloo. The opening, which was graced by the Minister of Lands, chairman of the Western Area Rural District Council, ADRA representative among others, described Waterloo Community Hospital, WRCH, as a modern hospital that can serve the community and beyond.
Districts in the Republic of Sierra Leone, most especially when it comes to health issues. In fact, the Waterloo community, even though we have opened the Waterloo Hospital, but for now, we will get all the clinic there, health centers there. And the only South Hospital in Adga, where they could do operations and other things there. So when we get Waterloo Community Hospital, for we, very, very, very important.
The chairman of the event, Michael D. Joso, said the concept was single-handedly funded and completed by Dr. Tucker, who worked so hard in the United States of America, but thought of giving back to his country by boosting the health system.
When you spend years overseas, working hard, for the most part, most of us decide to stay back there and enjoy our retirement and well-earned money. But this gentleman, our brother, our cousin, our father, uncle, single-handedly, like I said, single-handedly funded the construction and completion of this project. This gentleman could have easily said, I've worked hard, let me stay back in the U.S.
The guest speaker of the event, Professor Thomas B. R. Yoma, said the popular saying, health is wealth, has ceased to be an empty cliche. The fundamental reality or truth embedded in this phrase has increasingly dawned on the conscience of the world, as reflected in the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG Goal 3.
The clarion call in that declaration is that no one should be left behind. The reason for that is that promoting and ensuring well-being, healthy lives and well-being produces prosperous and resilient communities and societies. Make I talk small Creole now. We can hear it say, well body like gentry, not so. Well that well body like gentry, not to no longer empty talk. The meaning, the reality of that statement, neither make the whole world, United Nations, don't make, when they put the sustainable goals.
Healthcare Sierra Leone representative Dr. Soko Kabia said they are grateful for the gesture Dr. Tucker gave to the community. As he said, he is a man of his words. He spoke about the significance of the hospital, especially the non-communicable diseases. He intimated that these are diseases that are common but neglected for so long.
Based in the United States, consisting of members who, like Dr. Gladstone Tucker, are patriotic and have been quite successful in the United States of America, but have thought it fit to consider the fellow countrymen and, help support the healthcare system in our country. So we want to be grateful for them. Dr. Tucker, who is the main representative here, I'm also part of that group. Today, of course, is a very special day for the Waterloo community and for Sierra Leone in general, and we're particularly grateful to Dr. Tucker.
The executive officer of Waterloo Rural Hospital, Dr. Gladstone Tucker, said healthcare is a right based on equity, respect, dignity, and compassion of the patient. He emphasized that at the Waterloo Rural Community Hospital, every patient comes first at every level, and it should be treated with compassion. Doctor added that about $20,000 was used for the construction. Dr. Gladstone Tucker said that this is the genesis of his benevolence and his drive to give service to his country within the realm of his profession. The unveiling of the hospital climaxed the program, and that was done by the Jusu and the Tucker family alongside the Minister of Lands. First time news in Freetown, compiled by Abdurrahman Kamara. Read in our studios by Alusain Abubakar Bangura.
As a way of enhancing food self-sufficiency in the country and repositioning itself to ensure service delivery, the Sierra Leone flour mill has received 10,000 tons of wheat from Russia by sea-lock ship that will last for well over 5 months. According to the marketing officer, Sierra Leone flour mill Abdullahi Lamajalo, the arrival of the tons of wheat is to ensure market stability but called on the business people to patronize with the company as it is Sierra Leonean owned and will lead to the growth and development of the economy. Star Television visited the Sierra Leone flour mill and spoke to the marketing officer about the state of affairs of the company.
Our ship is right now here, and we are doing we are transferring the wheat from the ship with the conveyor belt. It's going on. It has started since about 4 days ago, and we have made sure that we have enough wheat that can take us up to May, because you know the Ramadan is approaching and the demand for bread will go higher, so we have taken all these things into consideration. So we have enough stock. We are even thinking beyond Sierra Leone. We are not just focusing on Sierra Leone, but we have enough right now. I mean, all over all the regions, you know, in the up countries, in Bo, Kenema, wherever you go, we have depots, and we make sure that we have enough stock in the stores. By continuing to do what we are doing, yeah, we make sure that we don't wait until the wheat is finished, but we do the processes. And in fact, right now, when this one came in, we had enough wheat, even that could last us for long. So we don't have to wait until it's finished completely before we talk about, or even when it's near finishing. But we make sure that we have enough wheat. The sales is extremely doing well. In fact, we have more demand. Sometimes we even think we have more demand than the supply. But Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we have quite enough. Yeah, as I was saying, we have brought in wheat.
The West African Network for Peace in partnership with Africa Transitional Justice Legacy Fund has concluded a 2-day training workshop for war victims, women, and community leaders at Grafton on transitional justice mechanisms. Febuary reports.
This 2-day training with war wounded and women that are in the informal sector, according to Dr. Aissata Mahoy, the National Network Coordinator for ONEM, is anchored around 3 thematic areas, which includes conflict mitigation, technical developing the capacity of women and war victims, and also training traditional leaders on how to imbibe democratic, good governance in various localities.
And so these women have been working in the marketplace trying to ensure that they mitigate conflict, or maybe reconcile, mediate conflict between parties. Because you know, many a time women in the marketplace, you know, they take microcredit and loans, also taking markets or goods from other people. So most times it ends up them being in conflicting situations, because one, maybe they refuse to pay back money, or maybe the time they have scheduled to pay has elapsed, all of those things. So the market women are in charge in Western area, rural, and also in Kono, to ensure that they help to reconcile those cases and try to mitigate conflict in the marketplaces.
Several participants made numerous contributions, most of them bemoaning the fact that since the end of the war, they have not benefited from the reparation program that was rolled out by the government and its partners. Mariatu Sawane is one of those who said that there seems to be a disconnect between them and the duty bearers.
We don't invite the councillor with a man for the party meeting because they never get the right for talk for. We are for talk for. We get Boku factory there now. We get spring water. We get Miller. They don't come and new factory and a beverage. They don't be in there come in there. They fuel station there. Non-power before they go far. They will employ people and they can't walk.
Vanoa Hedwin, the head of African Women's Network, noted that most of the concerns raised by the participants were legitimate and revolve around lack of access to basic social services and also limited access to leaders, which she conveys are legitimate. She admonished them to contact their local union, who will play a coordinating role in ensuring they bridge the gap that exists.
Have jobs with the factories and other institutions around their neighborhood. They've been engaging with them and they have not seen anything effective. One thing we always advise is they do have unions, like the Market Women Association, they have the Amputee Association, I'm sure they have some IDP association, internally displaced thing. You need to get together and actually again engage the chairman and the councillor. And the good thing, this meeting has been facilitated by the West Africa Network for Peace Building. And they have assured that they will play the coordinating role in terms of facilitating discussions between the community and the council.
Dr. Mahoy concluded by promising to document all these concerns raised and ensure that they liaise with the requisite institution for remedies.
You're still watching our national news on Star Television Channel 21 with me, Alima Samoa. Stakeholders in Kailahun district has on Saturday 20th February unanimously selected Alex Bonaparte to contest for the position of chairman of the Sierra Leone People's Party. George Elliott Sam reports.
Stakeholders in Kailahun district has on Saturday 20th February 2021 unanimously selected Alex Bonaparte to contest for the position of national chairman of the Sierra Leone People's Party SLPP ahead of the party's convention in May 2021. At a well-attended declaration of intent ceremony at the newly constructed Sierra Leone People's Party office in Kailahun district, stakeholders said they elected Prince Adin, who has disappointed them. The reason they have unanimously decided to elect their own son. Clad in white African dress, Alex Bonaparte revealed that for the past 3 years now, the party has been in turmoil. That for 3 years now, the party has not produced a membership card, and also the party has not produced a financial statement. That 3 years now, the party has not attracted new members. There is no respect for elder council, and recalled the anxiety between the last former vice president, Solomon Berewa, and that of Charles Magai that lead to the defeat of the party, reiterating that the party will be the biggest loser if short should happen again.
After elections, for 3 years now, every day the party they make power among themselves. For 3 years now, anytime when the party gather, people that they choose themselves, then they move themselves. For 3 years now, we don't give elders council any respect because of the threat, because of the chuchu. The elders council don't run away and we gather the party. For 3 years now, this party no able make membership card because we lack the leadership acumen for over. For 3 years now, we don't able give financial reports of what the party they are because we don't get sound financial policy. For 3 years now, we don't able get one member for actual membership in the party. This is because we don't face our own side of the party. We don't divide the party into 2 groups. And so that 2 groups are not see eye to eye. Anyone will win this election. The other party will remain this too, and they will continue to fight.
According to Alex Bonafa, President Dr. Julius Maada will unite and bring peace in the party and commended Dr. Prince Harding and Jimmy Batilo Songa, the two other candidates, but warned that the party will lose the next election if any of them wins the national chairmanship position.
So, we don't take this battle. Say we the kind of bring peace in the party. We the kind of bring people together. We the kind of take Dr. Prince Harding supported them and Jimmy Batilo Songa supported them. We the kind of bring peace to them. What we don't touch each other. We the kind of come together and work together to make we make the party. Why should we go for this election? And why we show some of them will win this election? I want to caution the people there. Dr. Prince Harding, they don't vote for this party. They don't start this party. Jimmy Batilo, our party person, they don't vote for this party. The other thing will make this time now wrong for them. Now because they allow themselves to fight among themselves for dividing party, and the party stand for lost the election if we give any of them the chairman position.
The SLPP constituency chairman, Kailam District, and coordinator for the COVID-19, Feka Moray, reiterated that Kailam District and not Alex Bonafa wants the SLPP national chairmanship, affirming that no Kailam, no SLPP, that the district has been loyal to the SLPP at its own detriment. They have the best party office in the country, and that the district asked Alex Bonafa to contest for the position because he will defend them in the country.
We are here today because we want to tell you people that Kailam District at this point in time has suffered so long, and by now, since we are the determinant factor for the winning of SLPP in this country, and we are the determinant factor for the loss of SLPP in this country, we want to declare to you people today that we, Kailam District, have unanimously come together and decide to request from the people of Sierra Leone that the mantle of leadership, of chairmanship, the national chairmanship, should be awarded to Kailam District, also that we can paddle the canoe to cross with His Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Maada come 2024.
The Clerk of Parliament, Honorable Param Tarawali, the SLPP chairman for constituency 125 Western Area, Balefode Fofana, SLPP Public Relations Officer, Tonkolele District, the SLPP Kono District Women's Leader, and stakeholders nationwide expressed similar statements, asserting that if the leader of the party is from south of the country, the chairman should be from the east, underlining that the national executive should be regionally balanced.
It's just simple. As SLPP, we need a charismatic leader. We need somebody who talks to the people. We need somebody who relates with the people and make the people feel confident. And Alex Bonafa is a man who makes people feel confident. So that is why we are here today in Kailam, because we feel confident and the people of Kailam feels confident.
Singing and cultural performance climaxed the ceremony. For Star News in Freetown, I am George Elliott Sam, reporting.
And to round up the news, let's turn our attention to sports. The Western Area Football Association has begun its annual Division 2 male competition across the Western region, with 50 teams participating in the ongoing competition. Let's now join our sports correspondent, Hilton John, for more sporting update.
Thanks to Yalima, welcome for today's sporting news. The Western Area Football Association has begun their first division league with 50 teams competing in the ongoing competition. Despite there's a ban has been put on hold by NACOVA, according to reports, that they will be meeting with the executive of the region, the Sierra Leone Football Association, and also the National Sports Authority. Although, according to the Secretary General of the association, is Benjamin Gordon, they need financial support to see how the competition will be more competitive. Here is the report. 50 teams in the Western area are competing in the 2021 Division 2 competition across the region, aimed at developing young talent, according to the Secretary General of the Western Area Football Association, Benjamin Gooden.
Well, I think much awaited Division 2 way for the past 7 years, I guess, or 5 years. Division 2 not the player at this country, especially in the Western area. But today, we see CMC, we're all happy and excited for at least make leg starts.
How many teams are competing in the competition?
Of course, 50 teams are competing, 10 in each group. Of course, 6 will go for stay at the group at Division 2, and 4 will relegate to Division 3.
How long the league they take?
Maybe as time goes on, God maybe get adequate funding, then we'll be able to see so we're going to speak.
He said they are faced with financial challenges in the ongoing competition, and the restriction of funds in the various playing grounds has been challenging for the sustainability of the various teams' management.
Plenty. Behind closed door, no funding, absolutely nothing. We get financial challenges. And
games so far play in the ongoing competition are Godrich Football Club, who secured a 2-0 victory against Makane FC, AIK Freetown 1, Manti City 1, Philip FC 0, Fuller Banter 0. Meanwhile, the National Sport Authority, some of their directors, seems to be an impediment to the growth of football in the country at lower level, according to some football fans. They have called on President retired Brigadier Julius Madabir to caution some of these directors. For Star TV Sport in Freetown, I am Elton John reporting. So the competition began over the weekend and it has been put on hold now by NACOVAC because of their own reason. They never stated the reason why they have suspended the competition. So just imagine football stakeholders, owners of club who are spending their money. We now have to wait for a decision of NACOVAC and the National Sport Authority. So that's all for sports for today's news. But the issue about NACOVAC and the NSA is a big concern for Sierra Leoneans who are sport-loving fans. Remember His Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Madabir campaign with sports that it will be a priority to his government, but things is falling apart.
Many thanks to you, Hilton, for that sporting update. That is all we have time for in our national news today. Many thanks for watching. Do continue to stay with Star Television for all the exciting programs coming up. I am Alima Samora.